All right, so here's our third example. We are asked to find an angle measure. And let's take a look at this, the information they gave us, the picture we're looking at, answer a couple questions, and then figure out what we're doing here. So it says, if angle RST is congruent to angle TSV, find, now do you see how there's an M in front of angle RST? That M stands for measure. So they're saying find the measure of angle RST. So our answer is going to be a numeric value. All right. So just a couple of review things. So the big angle, can we name the big angle angle S? So here's the big angle right here. And we talked about this in another video. Can we just say that that's angle S? And no, we can't. And the reason we can't do that is because it's not specific enough. Angle S could be the big angle, or possibly this angle, or possibly this angle. This spot, or this point, S, is the vertex for 3 different angles. So we need to be more specific than that. And then the next question, can we assume that angle RSV is a right angle? So you want to be very careful with this idea here. I see a lot of students get into trouble in geometry when they assume that something is a right angle. Now, it might look like a right angle, but I'll tell you, a right angle is 90 degrees. 91 degrees or 90.5 degrees looks just like 90 degrees to us. So how would we know if this was a right angle? Remember, you will see one of those guys, that little box in the corner. That's when you know it's a right angle. So in this case, because it did not have that, I'm going to go ahead and erase that. That means that, no, we cannot assume that. You can't assume anything in geometry. All right, so what do we know? We know that angle RST, so here's RST right here, is congruent to angle TSV. And here's TSV. And see how I made those nice little congruency marks? So what does congruent mean again? That means that those two angles have the same angle measure. So this is where it gets fun because we get to do a little bit of math. If those two angles have the same measure, then we can go ahead. So the first angle has a measure of 2x plus 8. We can set it equal to the other measure of 3x minus 7. And now we have a nice little equation to solve. So when you solve your equations, first you notice we've got x's on both sides. Let's get those together. So we can subtract 2x from both sides. Leaves us with 8 is equal to x minus 7. And then getting the x alone, we're going to add 7 to both sides. So we have x is equal to 15. All right, so another mistake I see students make, and be careful here, is you just solve an equation so you feel like you're done with the problem. X equals 15. So just look at what they asked. Did they ask us to find x, or did they ask us something else? And looking back up here, they want us to find the measure of angle RST. So RST is this angle. Well, it's not a measure of 15 degrees because x is equal to 15. So we're just going to plug it back in. We've got our 2x plus 8, and we know that x is a 15, so let's plug in a 15 for x. So it's 30 plus 8, so the measure of angle RST is equal to 38. Let's put a little degree on there. Why not? That is the answer to the question that they asked.